In 1774, Thomas Jefferson actually planted this property in vines. He owned at that point about 6,500 acres of land in and around what we now think of as Charlottesville. So he had a great range of options as to where he could put his home and where he could put his vineyards. He put his home in the lee of what he called Monte Alto, which was the highest point in the area. And on the back side of that, protected from the prevailing weather patterns, he put these vineyard sites. In 1981, when the owners of Jefferson Vineyards replanted, it was with that legacy in mind. A few years later, actually took the name Jefferson Vineyards to reflect that history. Our focus is on balance and on making the most complete wine that we possibly can. And Andy is very talented in that regard.
As a winemaker, being able to control the attention to detail that we have in our vineyards, to have premium fruit is really important. So for me, this is why I'm in this industry, is to be able to cultivate something and to be able to take it on to the next level, use the artistry to make a great wine.
Andy is a native of Norfolk, Virginia, and as such, Andy is intent on showing the wine world what the Commonwealth is capable of. He's a very talented winemaker. I would say he's gifted, and he has a technician's focus and a scientist's capacity for understanding the chemical aspects of winemaking. But he also has an artist's palate.
Right now, we just put this wine into barrels, and with it being a red wine, it tends to, and at its age, stirs up some of the lees. So what I'm really looking for is color extraction. You get a feel for how those tannins are going to play out over the course of its aging process in barrel. Whether they're going to soften up or if they're going to remain real tight.
That's where Andy's expertise really comes in, because he has the capacity to taste wines out of a barrel at this very early stage and get a sense of what that wine will become after 12 months in a new French oak barrel, and how it will play with the same juice that's in an older barrel, or a different varietal in a new barrel or an older barrel, and how all the blocks start to play together. So this is really where the logistics and the artistry and the chemistry and the science and the work happens in the winery. One of the ways in which we see ourselves evolving as a winery and as a group of people working to produce wine is that over time, we see consolidation of our production into one wine. That wine would be a reflection of these vineyard sites specifically, and it would be something on the order of 50 to 60% of our total production of red wine being bottled as Meritage. And as our flagship bottle of red wine, it bears Jefferson's signature, and it is something we guard very aggressively. We want to ensure quality in this bottle of wine, such that when people do pick it up, they feel they've gotten a good value for their money. They feel they've gotten a good glimpse at what we can do here at Jefferson Vineyards, and certainly what's possible in Virginia.
It comes down to working with as many different varieties as we can to put a final blend together at the end. And that's where having a palate where you can pick apart a wine and all of the different flavors. That's kind of what I bring to the table, the taste buds.
Most of the value that we get from working in this industry is being here, being on the property. My windows look out at beautiful vistas, and at times when we have a decision to make, we can take a walk through the vineyards and see what's happening with our agricultural aspect of the business, and try to make an assessment based on that.
I mean, I love Virginia. I was born and raised here. I think we make great wine, when we put our minds to it. It's just, I mean, it would be so boring if you were in a region where you just got the same thing year in and year out. You never really faced any challenges, and and you're just so focused on following a specific formula to maintain a specific level of consistency from year to year, that you really kind of miss out on the gems, the great years where the wines are just outstanding, and you kind of get away from realizing what makes those wines outstanding and spectacular is the fact that you can't do it every single year.
Defining success in the wine industry, I think, is very subjective. For us at Jefferson Vineyards, I think our success is measured on how well we feel we can reflect the nature of the vineyards and the fruit that we're harvesting. Certainly how well we can reflect Jefferson's legacy of wine and food here in Central Virginia.